Have you ever looked at the news in the morning and thought, why is the world always so chaotic? Why does war never seem to stop? If you think it's just about territory or ideology, well, I hate to break it to you, but that's a bit naive. While we're sitting here sighing at the headlines, someone out there is popping champagne. To them, war isn't a tragedy, it's the most profitable business model in human history. My name is Moon. I obsess over the hidden flow of massive capital behind global conflicts. If you're frustrated because no matter how hard you save and invest, the real wealth always seems to stay in a league of its own, then hit that subscribe button. And if this video helps you see the world differently, make sure to smash that like button. Now, look, most people believe that war destroys the economy. They think stocks will crash, raw materials will spike, and everyone's gonna suffer. Well, that's true for us, but for them, it's a completely different story. Did you know that by the time the war in Afghanistan was wrapping up in 2021, the stock returns of the top 5 U.S. defense contractors, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, etc., were staggering? We're talking a 582% return over 20 years. During that same period, the S&P 500 grew by 275%. These companies literally doubled the market's performance by making weapons of war. You think that's just a coincidence? This is where it gets really interesting. The economics of war is simple math. The U.S. spent roughly $2.26 trillion on the Afghan War. That's about 3,000 trillion Korean won. Can't picture it? That's like spending $300 million every single day for 20 years straight. Where did all that money go? To soldiers' salaries? No. A massive chunk of that money cycles right back into the revenue of defense firms. Think about it. If one missile costs $1 million and you fire it, that $1 million literally evaporates in the air. The military then has to spend another $1 million to buy a new one. For these corporations, it's the ultimate consumable market. Moon, surely politicians wouldn't gamble human lives just for money, right? You're thinking that right now, aren't you? Well, you need to understand the revolving door. Where do high-ranking Pentagon officials go when they retire? They join the boards of these defense companies, and those companies, in turn, pour massive donations back into political campaigns. Psychologically, humans are most vulnerable to fear. If a politician says national security is at risk, people stay quiet as trillions of their tax dollars are funneled into weaponry. Fear numbs logic, and in that numbness, massive amounts of capital are moved. Let me give you an easy analogy. Imagine someone throws a rock through your window. You're angry, but you have to fix it, so you pay the glass shop owner. But then you find out the guy who threw the rock and the glass shop owner are business partners. That is the essence of war and reconstruction. First, you earn money by blowing up roads and bridges with bombs, the war business. Once the war is over, you have to rebuild them. That's where multi-billion-dollar construction contracts are signed. You get paid to destroy, and you get paid to fix. Is there a more perfect two-way revenue model than that? What people really don't get is that this entire process is built on debt. Governments borrow money to fund these wars by issuing bonds. That interest is paid back by taxpayers, us, for generations. Essentially, the war business is a massive pump that forcibly transfers the wealth of future generations to today's elite corporations and power players. So what should we do? Just say, wow, the world is scary and move on? No, that's not the Moon's way. Let's find a solution. Follow the money. Look at which industries are smiling when the world is in chaos. Don't react emotionally, look at the numbers. Harden your portfolio. We can't stop these global capital flows. If that's the case, you must have a portion of your assets in things that hedge against inflation and geopolitical risk. Think commodities or companies with global dominance. Read between the lines. Always ask, why is this war narrative surfacing now? And follow the question, who profits? To be honest, I don't enjoy talking about this reality, but if you don't know this, you'll spend your whole life being a pawn on a board they designed. I want my viewers to at least have their eyes open so they don't get played. Today's content might have been a bit shocking, but this is how the world actually turns. If you want more deep insights like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. If this video raised your financial IQ even by 1 point, hit that like button. That's what keeps me going. Remember, only those who read the flow of money truly find freedom. I'll see you in the next one.